Oops. Well, I tried to make that work well. Not so good on the transitions yet. Got a ways to go on that. Hold on a second. Forgot to do that. There we go. So, how's everybody doing tonight? I'm watching the chat on my phone, so I do apologize for that. Uh, my computer did not cooperate in the chat portion, so I didn't want to touch it. All right, so we've got my good buddy Steve Keys. I see Phil Mosley's here. Who else we got? Six Stream Brian Cote. How you doing, buddy? Um, I think everybody missed you on Monday. There's a couple people going into withdrawal. So, Bam Mozzie, my other UK brother with the same initials. How you doing, sir? All right. Hopefully the audio is okay. And so we had a great day here in Florida. This week has just been awesome with the weather. It's been warm, but no humidity, which is like our fall. So our fall is why we live here, because in the summer it's brutal. So hoping a few more people will pop in here. Um, so the didn't quite work out well with the scheduling, and I was trying to put that out there a little bit ahead of time, so at least I got it up on Instagram, so hopefully everybody saw that. Thank you, Brian. I appreciate that. Um, one of the things I wanted to talk about tonight was the one that got away. And basically, I'm referring to that guitar. Either that guitar that you let go, that you always wanted, never could get. Um, Maybe you even have it now. Who knows? Hard to say. But just wanted to kind of throw that out there. I was doing some reminiscing and hunting around for photos and different things, and just kind of figure out how I got to where I'm at as far as music wise today. And that was one of the things that came up. I spent quite a bit of time tearing the house apart looking for some pictures, and finally found them, or at least a couple of them. Who just Paul Lou. Hey buddy, how are you? Uh, yeah, the Florida weather, man. We can rub it in for a while, that's for sure. What I wanted to do was try and encourage everybody, if you have that one guitar that you want or you've been craving, or more than just gas syndrome, that one that, man, I can't believe I don't have that, or that's the one, or I never should have got rid of that, because that's my case. And so I kind of wanted to just go over that. So after stream is over, or even if you've got comments now, just throw them up there in the chat, because I'd like to see what everybody else's thoughts are on those kind of things. Um, Hopefully I can do this without being too distracting, and see if I can make some of these things work. So I am going to switch here real quick to, boy, I gotta stop moving so much and quit watching the delay. Sorry about that. I didn't have my camera audio in there. Uh, but that was it. That was, let me throw that back up there for a second. Hey Laz, how you doing, buddy? Sorry about that. I was doing some pushing the wrong buttons. So that guitar is a 1975 Ibanez Les Paul copy. It's a custom model. It has a had might still have, I don't know, has a DiMarzio Super Distortion in the neck position, or in the bridge rather, sorry, and just the standard pickup in the neck, at least in that picture. I changed that neck pickup out to a second Super Distortion at one time, but that particular guitar, I had another 75 that was not the custom, that was a cherry red that I traded for that one plus a little bit of cash because the guy wanted a red guitar and he needed to move it. And so we worked out some deals. And I played that guitar all through up till 1985 maybe. So I owned it for about almost 10 years. And I traded it for a Kramer Beretta, the original Beretta. And sorry, kind of hard to. I don't have my chat where I can look at it in front of me, so I do apologize for looking away. But anyway, I traded that for a Kramer Beretta, which I then decided I didn't really like that much and traded for a Kramer Night Swan, which I still have. So that was in the mid 80s, mid to late 80s, that I made those deals. And lately I had been thinking that that was one of those guitars that I really regretted getting rid of. Um, excuse me while I look at the chat. So Brian says he had an Andy Wood. Sir, did he tell you that he got away? Got away. Um, let's see. Yes, Phil Kramer, right there, rocking the Kramer, man. Um, man, I got to figure out how to put the chat where I can see it. I don't know. Let's see if I do this. If this isn't too distracting for me. Excuse me a second. I know it's unprofessional. There we go. We'll try that. Sandra, how are you? Uh, well, I appreciate you coming by. Thank you very much. Um, so let me throw that pick back up there for a second. So that was, like I said, that was one of the ones that I let go. I mean, looking back on things now, I wish I still had the Kramer Beretta also, only because of, an original one, what it's worth now, what I originally paid for it. And that particular guitar, the Ibanez, I've been looking for those. I can find a couple. They're not in very good condition, and they want anywhere from around 600 to $1,100 or more for them. So, Caitlin, nice of you to pop in. Appreciate that. Todd, Eric, hey guys, how's it going? There's my other Florida brother, Todd. And make sure if you don't follow Todd on Instagram, check him out. He does some really cool builds, as well as he's a very eclectic collector. He has some very good stuff that he should post more pictures of. So, um, so that I can't say a lot about what started me down that reminiscing road. It just been one of those things that I've been thinking about. I guess as we get older, we kind of have regrets. Things happen. Um, Man, somebody should write a song about that, Eric. Oh, he might have one like that. Anyway, just throwing that out there. So, let's see here, just real quick. Let me just try and catch up with the chat. And like I said, again, I do apologize. What can I say? So, I saw Brian. He laid one out there about a telly. Anybody else got anything that they kind of regret letting go of? I'd be interested to hear everybody else's thoughts on that. I can't be the only one who has made some mistakes when it comes to letting things go. But sometimes you got to do that. I've kind of resolved that anything else I get, I'm gonna really think hard about getting rid of it before I pull the trigger. I've got a couple things that are in work right now that buying to maybe trade to hopefully move up if I can do some things to end up with a similar guitar. Oh, Eric had a gem. Yeah. Oh, and so was that Roland synth on the gem, Eric, or was it two separate things? I know those '90s gems, man. Those get a pretty penny right now. Hold on, let me mute that. Sorry. Um, I think Phil McKnight was just talking about he sold one of the ones he had, and it was a nice little investment. Nice, Steve. I appreciate that. Yes, you did. Oh, okay. So the Roland was the G707 synth guitar. Nice. 65 Fender Strat for Todd Flowers. 1979, yeah. See, guys, everybody has one of those stories. It's just one of those things that you go, what was I thinking? Oh, man. So that was just kind of one of the things that had started me down that road. The song that was playing in my pre-music, in my standby, that was another thing that had kind of stirred some memories. You find an old CD or a record. I still have records too, yes, and cassettes. Um, and those things kind of bring back the past. And we can't live in the past, but it is always good to remember because we certainly don't want to repeat that bad history sometimes. So, uh, and Bam saying that he, out of necessity, he had to let a guitar go, and that happens too. That's again, uh, it's never fun, especially when you look back later and you go, man, I wish I could have done that. So, I don't know if everybody had a chance to catch that opening song or not. I was looking to see if what? Sorry, chick. What was that? Fender Resonator. Oh, oh well. But if you got your first electric and amp from it, then that seemed like a pretty good move. Yep, never sell, Paul. Absolutely, that's my new motto. But Steve, you might not want to listen to that, so you just ignore that because you've got to pay for some other stuff, or you're going to be in some deep trouble. Let's see. So, I don't know. I'm sure not everybody caught that. Let me see where we're at here. I'll have to see when I can fade that back in. So, I was hoping that Upside Down may pop his head in here. Um, the opening song that I had in the standby was something that, like I said, it triggered some of those memories and started me tearing the house apart. And so I was, sorry, I'm kind of monitoring where this video is at. And let me just throw this up there real quick and hopefully let me know when this comes in if you do have audio. So anyway, this is basically where the opening song came from. And I won't have Mike during this, so I'll be right there. Let me know if for some reason the music doesn't play up.
Right into Stop, Wait, and Listen. Well, here it comes with Circus and Wixie together. Stop, Wait, and Listen on Flashback Favorites.
WIXY, Cleveland.
Steve Hunter, Roxanne.
Wixie Radio, it's a triple play.
I've been trying everything I know, but you still say no. All the clouds, they're turning gray. Hey girl, here's what I have to say. I say stop.
All right, so that, hopefully we got back it, we're good. So that was Stop, Wait, and Listen. That band was Circus. It was a local Cleveland band back in the 70s. The intro kind of cut out the beginning of that, but said it was if you were in the local bar scene. Well, wasn't really supposed to be in the bars when that came out in 73, but that's where all the good music was. So there was no way I was not going to be in the bars. Oops. Oh, sorry, Caitlin. David, how are you, sir? Good to have you here this evening. So that was my intro song that kind of popped back in there. And so I'm not sure. I was hoping, like I said, I was hoping Upside Down would have been in here because I would have liked to seen him guess that one. It didn't come up on Google or Siri. If you Google the name of the song, you would find it. But I'm accusing him, he's not here, of cheating last time. So, nice, Todd. You know, I knew we were brothers. I just knew it. So, yep, they were like I said, they were a local Cleveland band. They basically toured the Midwest. There was a little blurb in there that some of the guys later on went to be with the Michael Stanley band, and then a couple of the guys were the backup band for Eric Carmen when he went solo. So that, like I said, that song triggered, kind of walked down memory lane a little bit, and just had me digging for that guitar. Um, just real quick here. Oops, let's do that. This is, just so you know, this is not actually where this. Yes, that was an 8 track. So the song was on that 8 track, but that is not where I got the song from. My friend actually had that. Uh, it was kind of the back in those days you sold CDs, or not CDs, CDs, right, cassettes. You would have some 45s pressed, but the band would sell them out of the back of the bar at the end of the night, and you get your music to take with you. The little intro from that was Wixie 1260, which was the AM radio station that I grew up listening to when I first started listening to music, at least when I had my first portable radio anyway. Hold on. I know, very unprofessional, not staged well at all. But that would be this 1260 on the AM dial. And we also would get CKLW out of Windsor/Detroit. And I know the Canadians in here are going to kill me. It was really Windsor, I know, but they also called it the Motor City. Everybody thought it was Detroit, and Detroit will claim that radio station. Um, so don't beat me up on that. All right, let's see what's going on here. Everybody's there. CKLW, 45 minutes. Nice. CKLW. They still have the same jingle, too. So, like I said, don't beat up on me, but I used to skip it across the lake. We'd get it in Cleveland. Would listen to that all the time. I don't think I ever got WLS, Todd. I can't say that I did. Um, Maybe. But, you know, I can remember being in the panhandle and picking up CKLW. So, you nice night, clear, no, those signals, AM signals, they bounce right off the ionosphere, and next thing you know, you're listening to a radio station that's 1,000 miles away. So, um, but that was uh, the one of the radio stations that I grew up listening to. The other one was WMMS, and WMMS was a FM. Once I discovered FM radio and the FM dial, and that kind of changed everything as far as music went. But they were the premier rock station, I'm gonna say, in the whole Midwest. And we'll see if Todd calls me out on that one or not. But they launched more bands' careers than just about any other radio station out of LA or New York. So they were definitely, they have some archive tapes that are crazy. Some of the concerts that they recorded. Um, let's see. So Eric was a DJ. 50,000 watts, I'll bet you did. Yeah. Well, Todd, you know, they don't make them like that. Now the FCC gets in there, cuts the power down. WLUP FM from Chicago. Man, I lived in Illinois for about 6 months, and I know we listened to a lot of Chicago radio stations, but I honestly couldn't remember what stations they were. So, um, the loop. Nope, not a DJ. You were the computer guy, huh, Eric? Well, and you're still the computer guy. How about that? Some things don't change, man. uh, Now you're Sandra's computer guy. Excuse me. So I was just kind of wanted to go over those couple things with those, especially those two radio stations. I have I have a recording that maybe I'll throw a Dropbox link up on this after it's over, of a little band that got a new drummer in '75. They were from somewhere north of the border. I don't know. Some three guys, you never heard of them. But nice live recording. Them going over a little record called Fly By Night. So, but I'm going to throw that up there. I won't really call it a bootleg. Um, but it's certainly a very interesting and very raw recording. They were playing at a club called the Agora, which was in Cleveland, which is still there. And it's more, it was definitely geared towards rock back in the 70s. A lot of bands played there, a lot of big bands played there. A lot of recordings were done there. So it was one of those things that if every week there was somebody big going through there, if they weren't playing at Music Hall or Blossom Music Center, they were at the Agora. So definitely, again, I know, showing my age, but back in the day, I can't believe I just said that. But those were the things that you did on the weekends. You would get a bunch of your guys. I had an old station wagon. Everybody would pile into the wagon, and we would go find music somewhere, whether it was at a bar, at a concert somewhere, a concert venue. But that was what you did. Now the way things are spread out, yes, there are a lot of shows like here in Tampa specifically, but for the most part, it's not that big of a music scene. So I kind of miss those days, uh, but also can't run like that anymore either. So I guess natural selection kind of takes over. Shaggin' wagon. No, it wasn't a van. It was a wagon, though. It was a 1968 Ford Country Sedan station wagon. So that was the big long one. It had a 390 in it with a 4 barrel posi rear end. Uh, that thing would go from 0 to 60 in, I don't know, a couple minutes, but 60 to 90, man, that thing would haul butt. So, again, I'll have to see if I can find some pictures of that thing. If I find any of those, they're probably in black and white. If I have those, exactly. It started out as the family truckster, Todd. That was the family wagon, and when my parents went to trade that in, they were going to give them $150 for it. So that was what I paid, $150, and got some spray cans and fixed some rust and cleaned it up and got me through my high school years. And man, it was great to move band equipment around in, and you could throw a couple 412 stacks in that thing real easy. So it would definitely carry the weight and get you there, and you didn't have to worry about it because gas was 26 cents a gallon. So that was for premium. You had to put premium in that thing. It did not like regular. That 4 barrel would suck down the gas, man. EPA nightmare. Thank you, Steve. You know, I really do miss you. Uh, well, Nocturnal, that's actually not a bad thing because at least you'll know where he's at. Um, we kind of rotated between a couple different houses. Um, in as much as my parents hated the noise, they liked the fact that there was a lot more people there, and we were able to use the basement because we don't have those here in Florida. So, thanks, Steve. Miss you too, man. So, for those of you guys that don't know, Oregon Steve, who changed his name to something cool, um, but he worked with me here for several years, and I'll have to see if I can find that picture next time and throw it up. We did a Know Your Gear uh, facsimile in front of an airplane, and it was a lot of fun. We used to be able to jam together. It was cool. Not as much as we probably needed to, but anyway, again, nostalgia, man. Let's see. So that was the couple things that I needed to I wanted to a couple of things I wanted to cover tonight. I'm still trying to figure out this how I want to do this and what's how things are gonna go. I certainly want to do more with the obscure slash stump the band, stump the audience music, and so I'm digging through some very old stuff. Um, I can't. I won't say can't, but I'm not the person to sit here and just rock out. That's not who I am. I need some structure when it comes to doing songs. I have that one cover of Phil Mosley. Is he listening still? Maybe. Uh, Caitlin probably will be gone by the time you get back, so have a good evening. And hopefully you're feeling better. I know you weren't doing too well there, so hopefully everything's going good. Um, so that was doing that little backing track. That was way out of my comfort zone. Trying to learn new riffs, trying to improvise. Like I said, I kind of need my structure. It's the kind of playing that I do now. So it's just some of those things that I kind of learned to accept. So I'm trying to think if there was anything else I was going to go over. I don't think so. I will put that Dropbox link in there with that CD so everybody can hear some early on Rush. And oh, did I say that name out loud? Certain three-piece Canadian band, and I would also appreciate anybody else if you leave a comment after this is over. Just let me know what some of those guitars were again. I'm going to kind of go pull the chat back up and list those things out, and as well as anything else you guys maybe are thinking that, man, I wish that's the one I want, or that's the one. I'd like to know what your that's the one is. Um, so leave those on the rebroadcast. Leave that in the comments too. And I really appreciate you guys hanging out. Just 45 minutes is about all I can ramble realistically. I'll try and have a little more music prepared, and maybe next time, and try and do some jam stuff. We'll see how if we can get that going. And I just everybody out there, just keep rocking. Uh, Play what you like. Learn to like what you play, and just keep creating that good music. So, everybody, you guys have a good evening, and we'll see you in the chats, I'm sure. Everybody, take care now. Peace.